Now, we're couple dressing again, but I think what this really could be, and have a look at the two-shot here. What you are looking at here is the before and after of an exercise campaign. If you put no effort in, you look like me. If you put some effort in, or in fact a lot of effort in, you look like Dave. How are you, mate?
Now that's an intro. You know what I mean? You go on a lot of these shows, they just say, he's on YouTube, whatever. That was nice. Listen, I try to do a little cardio in the morning. What I do is sometimes I turn on MSNBC or another one of our leftist TV shows, and I pretend that there's zombies chasing me, and I find that it really pushes you to run further. You might want to try it, Paul. It works.
All right, I'll do my best. The zombies are chasing me. I love it. All right. Now, Trump sat down for a couple of interviews the past few days, including one with our mate Megyn Kelly, and he wasn't very clear on issues like, can a man have a baby?
Can a man become a woman?
I think part of it is birth. Can the man give birth? No, although they'll come up with some answer to that also someday. I heard just the other day they have a way that now the man can give birth. No.
Paul, I want to be clear on something. A man cannot have a baby. A man also cannot turn into a woman. And by the way, his answer when he said, well, it has something to do with giving birth, that is also incorrect, because there are probably millions of women worldwide who are infertile, who cannot have babies. But they are still women, of course. But it does show to some extent that he's beginning to lose a step, because the Donald Trump that was the insurgent Donald Trump of 2015, or even the president, let's say mid-2018, he would have taken that question and ripped Megyn Kelly apart in the old days. What are you talking about? This is fake news media. You know I know the answer. I know the answer. You know the answer. Everyone watching knows the answer. And instead, it really was a bad moment for him.
I mean, the suggestion is, it's all part of a pivot to the middle. He doesn't need to pivot to the middle on issues like this. He needs to pivot to the middle on economic issues. CBS poll that came out this week said that of the 45% of people who say that they're financially worst off since the pandemic, 71% of them are planning to vote for Trump. He is, if he's going to get there, it's going to be because he's the rebound candidate, the rebound president, the back to the future candidate in terms of the economy, not because he's got wishy-word answers on the issues that only the craziest parts of the internet get angry about.
You're completely right. And Paul, look, there's another guy here in Florida who I'm supporting to be president, even though I did vote for Donald Trump last time. I think Ron DeSantis is a better communicator and facilitator of the right ideas at this time. However, you just made a great point. If Donald Trump was out there every day saying, hey, guys, remember the economy the day before COVID? You remember what my first 2.5 years were like, with lowest all-time Black and Hispanic unemployment, with tax breaks, with regulation cuts, with a stock market that was booming, et cetera, then he'd be making an argument for himself. Instead, by, I suppose, going towards the middle by saying you don't know the difference between a man and a woman, it shows that you're kind of mealy-mouthed when it comes to, yes, just arguing with the fringe internet people of the day. But yeah, the economy is something he could run on and run with, because Bidenomics clearly isn't working. And I think the Democrats probably realizing it was a mistake to attach his name to this thing.
Now, let's talk about how the White House just will not engage with, yet again, more proof that Joe Biden makes things up. Because in the days before the internet, a politician could walk into a room full of people who won't record it and won't send it around and make up stories that, I feel your pain, because here's this story that's kind of plausible. But in the internet age, where we can know exactly where he was and exactly what he said, he lies all the time.
Yes, and I guess that's why he's whispering, because he hopes people won't catch up on it. It's so insane. I mean, the guy was brought up in the Catholic Church and in a Jewish temple. He was brought up in an Asian family and always ate Hispanic food. He was Black. He was white. He was gay. It's all so insane. He lies about everything. But yes, the confusion with him is that it's hard to tell if he's lying or if he genuinely doesn't know what he's saying anymore. I don't think either one really matters, like which one is true, and they're probably both true to a certain certain degree. But they had this incredible moment, this press conference where they send John Kirby up there and somebody asks him, hey, why does Joe keep lying about everything? And he lists out the lies. And then Kirby's like, well, he's just honored to be president. And it's like, man, we expect nothing from these people anymore. You really have to admire it in a certain way. They have lowered the bar to the extent that basically if he doesn't fall up the stairs, which he's also done a couple times, they consider it a pretty good day.
I think perhaps the saddest indication of the worst parts of the great American democracy was the Pennsylvania Senate race in 2022, because you literally had a man who couldn't speak, essentially a meat puppet for the Democrats, versus a TV doctor who nobody's ever heard of since. The Democrat ended up winning because he was the Democrat. But John Fetterman, part of his sort of whole look is this guy wearing jumpers and shorts, and a guy who looks like he'd be more like, how do I say this, wearing a fanny pack at a railway station and staying there for about an hour long. Is that a good enough metaphor? Then actually,
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, who would end up becoming a US Senator. He is a US Senator. And look, I'm a casual dresser, but he's taking it to, a new level or a new low. What do you think?
Yeah, the fact that the Senate decided to literally remove their standards regarding what senators have to wear because of this man who refuses to wear anything other than a black hoodie and shorts is absolutely embarrassing. But the weird thing about the rule is that the senators no longer have to dress in any particular way. But did you catch this one, Paul? The visitors to the Senate building, they still have to dress up. I mean, how insane is that? So the people who are actually doing the work of the people can show up in a bathing suit and a tank top. But if you're showing up to see if government works, you got to still be in a suit. Because I guess it turns out we work for them.
Yeah, and the help have to keep wearing masks. Dave, lovely to see you, mate.
Good to see you, my friend.